going on, guys? It is hot out. We're tucked up in the shade today. It is July. We're officially here. We are in the middle of the year and fishing is still just as good as ever. Today we're going to be giving you guys a rundown on some of what our top baits are for the month of July. So let's get into it. So to start, let's talk about what I would consider probably the most fun category of baits in the pile we got here. They're all fun, but there's something about hollow body topwaters. Everybody knows them, everybody loves them. And the month of July, this is one that you just gotta have, especially mornings, evenings is what comes to mind. Don't get me wrong, you can catch them all times of the day, but those cooler mornings, it's just what I grew up fishing, was throwing a frog in the summertime. A lot of our grass is up, the lily pads are up. Down south, you're starting to get mats showing up. So really from the top to the bottom of the country, having a hollow body topwater bait, so much fun. And this is the month where they really start to get up in the thick, nasty stuff, yanking them on a frog, some sort of hollow body topwater bait. It's tough to beat, man. And next up, we're gonna talk about one this is just old faithful, a stick bait. Something that I know a lot of guys tend to throw in the springtime, but I'm looping this into the summertime category because again, it is hot at a lot of lakes. And that is when shade line stuff really starts to play. Overhanging trees, fishing docks especially. That's one thing I love to do when it gets real hot. Those bass, they just tend to retreat to the cooler water wherever there's shade, and a stick bait like this is something that you can skip into those nooks and crannies where they're taking cover from the heat. But at the same time, you can do a lot with this bait too. Up north, us northern guys, we like throwing a jig worm in the grass, putting this on the back of a Carolina rig, kind of a little bit of a different bait, but it's really cool in the back of a Carolina rig, just kind of snakes around, right? You can do a lot with this bait, but a good old stick bait, again, it's more of a springtime thing, what comes to mind for most guys, but it definitely has a time and place when things get hot, bass are looking to retreat into those places, get away from the heat. Skipping a little stick bait in there can be a way to get a ton of bites. And while we're talking about worms, let's talk about throwing a shaky head. Again, this is something from up north here. Our largemouth are finally starting to get offshore. When you kind of beat up on a school a little bit, this can be a good way to kind of pick things apart, dragging a shaky head around. If you're in an area where they're really starting to fry guard, again, that's something that's starting to happen up north too, and even down south, it's still happening in places. Throwing this on stumps, hard cover where bass are guard and fry, there's something about just a shaky head, man. It's so simple, but it gets bit so well. And of course the ledge guys too, whether you're throwing a smaller one like this, or one thing I love to do is throwing a giant 10-inch worm on a big 3/4 ounce shaky head, cracking them on a big rod, super fun. So a shaky head, again, whether it's a smaller worm like we got here, or a big giant worm somewhere in between, bass bite a shaky head, man. You gotta have them. Next up, we got another very fun bait, a flipping jig. Again, in a lot of places, grass is really starting to get thick, and those largemouth love to go tuck up in the cabbage, tuck up in the coontail and milfoil. There's no better way to get to them than flipping a jig. I like flipping a big 3/4, 1 ounce, 1 1/4 ounce even sometimes. A flipping jig is such a good way to get to those bass, catch tons of bass. You can crack one, it's such a compact deal. Everything all stays together. Boom, I'm right back in the fight. But also, again, I'm going back to fishing the shade line kind of stuff. Flipping docks, having a 3/8, a 1/2 ounce flipping jig, skipping that up underneath docks, flipping laydowns up on the bank, flipping shade lines. A flipping jig, again, covers you in a lot of places. Flipping grass, flipping the bank, doesn't matter. A flipping jig is such a good thing to have on the deck in July. And lastly, let's talk about a spy bait. This one's mainly for the fellow northerners watching. All of our smallmouth guys know that this is such a killer for post-spawn smallmouth. Smallmouth that are cruising flats, running break edges, just bombing a spy bait on a long cast, clear water. There's something to those little blades spinning, that real pretty shimmy on that bait. Even when smallmouth fishing can be real tough post-spawn conditions, the spy bait just gets bit, plain and simple. But also, This is another one where those guys in that spotted bass country, Lanier, Hartwell, when fish start to get on piles, start chasing bait, they've kind of seen it all at this point. A spybait is something that can get a lot of bites as well. Just reeling this again up high in the water column. Had a lot of fun times messing around on herring lakes, burning a spybait above them. So again, whether you're a herring guy or a smallmouth guy up north, if fishing is awesome or if it's really tough, a spybait is an awesome way to catch bass in the heat of summer. So there it is. There is just a handful of some baits that I consider to be must-haves for the month of July. Obviously, there's some that we left out. Let us know down below some of the baits that you think are must-haves, gotta have them on the deck for the month of July. And be sure to keep an eye out next month for the top baits of August.